Hey, it's Ken Follen, and welcome to Windham Weekly with my co-host Mark Doyle. You know, the mushroom from the Board of Ed.
How you doing? Just a fun guy here waiting to keep Ken on his feet.
Let me know, folks, when you're tired of that stupid joke of his. But anyway, hey, don't forget, this is a weekly call-in show, a very positive show about Windham and the community and the people in it. We can be reached today, if you're interested, with our guest, who we'll introduce in a few minutes to you, at 456-1400. So, Mark, I'm going to let you have the honor of introducing our special guest tonight.
Really? Thank you.
That's enough for Mark Doyle. So our guest tonight is Tyler DiGiovanni.
Wow, unbelievable.
From the Quiet Corner Buzz.
That's right.
I'll let Tyler speak for himself as to what that's all about.
Well, first let me know that I found him on the internet and through the referral from my lovely wife, decided that this was something we would be interested in helping promote positive things around our neighborhood.
Yeah. Mark often trolls the internet and finds things, but we're not going to go there,
Right.
folks. This is a family show. But anyway, I want to make a full circle connection. Many of you know Tyler's dad, Mr. Ed DiGiovanni from the Windham Public School System, music, band, just a heck of a guy all around. So this is Tyler, his son. He is involved in a very positive business, and let me just have Tyler speak for himself, and we'll go back to his childhood. We'll go back to the torments of a babysitter or something.
We probably should give credit to Tyler's mother too, who was a
Kathy
music teacher at E.O. Smith.
Yes, she was. Yeah.
So, are you pursuing music, Tyler?
I do play guitar.
Okay. So,
Bass and a whole lot of stuff. The whole basement's basically,
a music lab?
yeah, pretty much.
That's great. So, Tyler, talk to us about just what is the Quiet Corner Buzz. What is it? And then we can go from there.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. So we noticed, my brother Kyle and I noticed, there was a distinct lack of awareness for events going on in the area. This was, it was made apparent if you go on the Willimantic Today Facebook page. Every other post in the summer is there something happening at the Shaboo stage? So instead of, missing out on it and everybody wondering, why didn't I know about this? We decided to do something about it. And our main focus is just, positivity. No politics, no gore, no terrible news stories. We want to keep it happy. We want to keep it light. We want to promote local business, and we want to make sure people know what's going on in the area.
And that's exactly what this show is trying to do, too. We want to bring out some highlights of what's happening, and especially in Windham. I mean, I know you're talking the Quiet Corner, so you're talking Windham County.
Yep.
I know you feature a lot about Windham in and of itself, because there's a lot going on here. We're the biggest town in the Quiet Corner, so there's always a lot of activity. That Shaboo stage provides that. So people are going to ask themselves next, if I was listening, which I am, of course, aren't I? Okay. So the next question that comes to my mind is, how do you get a copy of what you're writing? How often do you write it? Is it free to the public? And then obviously as a business, you're going to be looking for sources of revenue. So I would imagine you're looking for some sponsorships as well. Why don't you go through the whole gamut?
Well, that was 6 questions in one.
Well, can you handle it? He's younger than you, Doyle. Everyone is.
I'll try and work through
I'm
it.
taking notes. I'm taking notes for him. So we
Wake up,
keep
Tyler.
with
This
us.
is very important
Yeah.
that we get the word out.
I'll try and work through it. So our newsletter goes right to your inbox. You'd sign up on our website, which would be www.quietcornerbuzz.com/subscribe. If you do it without the subscribe, you'll see our main page. You'll see all of our old newsletters. So if you want to peruse, see what we've done so far, feel free. Newsletter goes out in the mornings on Mondays and Thursdays. Without fail so far. We did take one off for Christmas because, we got to do it.
Wow. I thought his brother was Ebenezer Scrooge. That's his business partner. But go ahead. Keep going.
We are looking for sponsors. We're happy to talk to anybody that would look to support us in this endeavor, you can reach out to me at tyler@connecticutbuzz.com. Full word, not CT. And I'll get back to you and figure something out. Did I miss any?
I think you did.
What I miss?
So the paper is produced, every Monday and Thursday. You subscribe free to it. You tell them how to subscribe, and it's an email, and it's very current if you're getting it twice a week. As far as the activities
it's free.
go.
It's free,
and it's free.
That's the one. It's free.
That's Doriel's favorite word when it comes to food.
Yeah. Do you have two different ones for us and one from Tallinn, or is it all into one newsletter?
So there are two separate ones. We have
Okay.
the Quiet Corner Buzz, and we have Tallinn County Buzz. If you want to subscribe to both of them, that's awesome. Helps us out. If you want to see what's going on next door in Mansfield or Columbia.
Well, our radio single, I think, gets right up close to Mansfield. Right, Matt?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
I do want to say we just, in the newsletter today for Tallinn County, we're working with Twin Beaks Fried Chicken, which is in the parking lot of the Landmark building in Columbia, and they're doing 10% off until the end of the month. You can use it 3 times with promo code LYNCHBUZZ, LYNCHBUZZ, and it is phenomenal. I went there yesterday, and it was outstanding.
So this is a food truck, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed you had the newsletter I printed, the tacos. Now, do you go to every one of these places and judge them yourself, or you're taking referrals from people, or?
I try and get to every single place myself.
Okay.
The Broncos, right on Main Street, was recommended to me by my older brother, who raved about their birria tacos, and he wasn't wrong. They're phenomenal.
Right here in Main Street, a place called Broncos.
Broncos Puebla Cuisine. They're in the parking lot of Sun
behind.
Mart, right next to Royal Buffet.
Gotcha. Yeah. Now I know. Okay.
And they're doing 10% off too if you mention Quiet Corner Buzz.
Oh, that truck used to be right across the street from the Royal Buffet, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. See, the food trucks, they move enough where you lose them.
That's their spot.
That's their spot.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Because we had the new one that opened at the Longo Taco Amano, I think it's called. Amano, the one on High Street.
Yeah.
It's pretty good over there. Plenty of food trucks in town. Plenty of them. The smart guy would create a food truck park, if you will.
Yeah.
And lease some spaces there with some electricity boxes and whatnot.
There's the one over by the highway, getting off the highway,
Oh, yeah.
which there were,
Across from Liberty Bank, there was, I think it's 6 and 66 intersection there.
a couple
yeah.
couple of years ago. I feel like there are 2 or 3 in there.
Yeah, there
but
were.
I didn't see
That's
them last year.
right next to the old Brand Rex building. I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah.
There were a series of trucks that were there.
So how many subscribers do you have now? For Windham County.
Windham County, we're at about 2,300.
It's not bad.
We're hoping to
And you
get,
started this in November.
mid-November.
Okay. And now, when you're talking sponsorship, so you're walking into establishments or events and saying, "Hey, is there a fee schedule that you set to be a sponsor? That you have an ad or a story mentioned in your newsletter? Is that how that works, or what's the business model?"
Well, we reach out to see if people would be interested in advertising. We realize, Windham County, we're not the richest county in the state by any means. So we're not looking to put financial pressure on anybody. Like I said, we're trying to build up these businesses. We're trying to draw people in for them. Ideally, the people we would love to advertise with us would be people such as realtors or veterinarians or, dentists, doctors.
Professionals.
Yeah, people who, if, they pay X amount of dollars for an ad with us, if they get a customer that's going to be, lifelong or something, it's going to more than pay for itself.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's who we would like to sponsor, but hey, we are not picky. We will take whoever wants to advertise with us.
Well, this is a great idea, especially for our area. Seriously, there's a lot of little events. A lot of, there's scout events, there's church events, there's community events that people just don't know where to go. And you said it from the get-go, the Shabu stage sometimes It's just not marketed or publicized enough for the events that are there. And, and imagine if you spoke to the people at Town Hall. I don't even know who's in charge of booking the stage for events, but it seems like every weekend there's something there once the weather hits. And you drive by and you go, oh, what's that event?
Yeah. Oh, I must have missed that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, speaking of that, how do you get your information on your events? Do you actively go out and call places, or are people recommending to you? If I'm going to do an event at the Shubu stage, am I having to? Can I call you and tell you it's coming up and have you cover it, or how does that work?
So it started out with me just scouring every website I could possibly think of. Facebook has been a great resource. Town websites, libraries, which I was shocked at the amount of amazing programs that libraries offer. And I know that sounds ignorant, but most people don't think about all these free, great things that libraries do. It doesn't even cross their minds. But as it's gone on, we have had people reach out and suggest events, and we're going to be doing something soon, I think within the next couple of weeks, for the I believe it's a blues concert that is going to the proceeds are going to go to Street Fest. That's being held by I think Mr. Chris Beaudry, who I believe might be there it is, Winter Blues Fest. Yep, that's going to be coming out in a newsletter soon, along with a discount code for people that sign up using our link.
Are you connected directly to Zamara Campo? She is the executive administrative assistant at Town Hall, where she should be able to email you the events that are happening in town on behalf of the town. Not, if you're a scout group and you're doing a can drive, or the Door Niles group for the holiday time. These people should have an email address to get you that information as far as their events that are important to them, and just another avenue, just like WILI, another avenue to advertise the goings on and hopefully get more people coming through the gates, if you will, to support. Because most of the events that happen are for charity in the end, and they go to help the soup kitchen. They'll go to help Wayne. They go to help a lot of people in our town. And I think if more people know about it, the more successful financially they will be in that assistance. And I think, again, that's the positive thing about what I'm reading here on your, I have a printed version of Tyler's paper. So you started this with your brother in November. And you've already worked your way into Talon County, Windham County, anything looking towards New London County? You want to get your feet a little more solid on these two first? Yeah,
we want to prove out that it's viable. I mean, right now I'm still, I work from home, so I'd like to transition to this being my full-time job. So if we can prove it out in Windham County, then we can kind of go for it. Go all in and
kind of like New York City. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere, right?
Yeah.
If you can make it in Windham,
Well, unfortunately, I'll help you pack your bags, Doyle.
You can win in Windham. You can win it anywhere. We'll do that slogan: "Win in Windham."
Win
in Windham. Wow. You can win anywhere.
So let's go back to the Wayback Machine. So Tyler grew up in Columbia.
Yep.
And again, everyone knows Kathy and Ed, his parents.
Wonderful parents.
Wonderful
parents.
Wonderful parents, and a great family all around. You went to the high school. You didn't go to the middle school here, correct?
No, went to Horace Porter in Columbia.
You went to Porter, right?
K through 8.
And then you came over to high school and you gave your expertise and size to the football team.
I did. Coach Brian Crudden.
So tell us about
Local
your experience
legend.
at the high school, because one of the things that Ken and I both being involved with the Board of Ed, we're always promoting the things at the school. How was your experience at the high school, Tyler? How's it?
Well, we're telling them what the year was that you actually graduated, so they can date themselves and they can figure
out when you were.
Since Mark's been involved and I left,
Right.
things.
That way you can figure out who used to babysit you when you were a young lad.
I graduated in 2004. I absolutely loved Windham. The diversity, the atmosphere, I enjoyed it. I know, growing up, Windham had a bad rap, and I mean, while there are some bad apples, that's everywhere. and other places just do a better job of sweeping it under the rug, and Windham is just kind of out there.
Yeah.
Which we had we knew that was always a thing. Oh, if this happened, up the road at EO, you wouldn't hear about it. But since it's at Windham, it makes the front page of the Chronicle. But
I think you went to school with both of our kids, Ken's kids and my kids. So,
I did.
boy, we're getting old, Ken.
Listen, I don't remember this in my lifetime, but I was told by my son that I actually. And if you see the size of this guy, hopefully on camera, you can maybe take a full shot and stand up. What are you, about 7 feet tall? And so they claim that I babysat this kid when he was little. I remember the name, but I was dating a girl there, his neighbor, and I said to myself, what am I doing over this house with this little kid? Now he's a freaking monster. But and you're a dad now.
I 3 little boys. Hi, Maximus, Mason, and Luca. If you guys are listening, which I'm sure you are.
Oh, they're going to listen because now I got to do the same. I got 3 little boys now. They're 3 big boys now, but I've got one special little boy, and I'm going to take a personal moment because I promised him I would to say hi to my only grandson. Thank you, Andrew and Alicia, for Oliver Francis Folan. He's about 2.5 now. And he's Pop's World. So love you, Oliver. I promised him I'd get that. And so you got 3 sons. Are they all in Columbia schools, or are they too young for school?
So 2 of them are. The oldest is in 1st grade. The youngest is pre-K. Actually, the middle one's pre-K, and then the youngest is pre-K, but he's at Andover because he was too young for Columbia.
Gotcha.
But Andover would accept him. Oh, yeah. Hi, Nikki. Hi, honey. Almost forgot that.
Isn't that sweet?
Bring the wife.
Yeah.
Ed raised this guy right.
That's right. On the other hand, Ken and I, we're too old for that. It's too late for that sweet
It's too
stuff
late.
for us. Yeah. It's gone by.
My oldest is actually in the same class with Pat Gilday. I don't know if you remember
I know
Mark
Pat,
Gilday.
sure.
Yep.
With his oldest, his twins are in the same class as my oldest, which has been nice to be able to, watch kids start to grow up together.
Another graduate of Windham High School.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's pretty exciting. Now, did you? I know everyone knows the music in your family. Now, did you take on any music at the high school at all, or?
I didn't. It was
Really?
Football. It was sports.
It was sports.
That was the thing. In our house, it was you did music, you did sports, or you worked. Those were your options.
Yeah.
If you weren't playing sports, you were working. If you weren't doing either, you were in music. I've been playing guitar since 14 at this point. So did kind of hold on to got some musical ability from my parents.
Oh, yeah.
Wish I could play piano like my dad
Yeah.
used to be able to. Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
Guy was a maestro.
So now your brother is involved in this with you, your older brother.
Yes.
And what's his name again? I'm sorry.
Kyle.
Kyle. And Kyle lives in China.
Kyle lives in Shanghai. Yep, he's been there for 10 years. I think a little over 10 years. He started...
That's the quiet corner east.
Yeah. So he does a lot for the back end of this. He's making sure, the emails are going where they're supposed to. He's helping out with ads for us for Facebook to try and, promote, get the word out. And he has a lovely wife and a beautiful little daughter. And we're hoping, fingers crossed, that we can get them back to this side of the pond.
Well, maybe at one point, but if he, it all depends where your happiness is at that point. If he's doing well at work, his wife is doing well, the kid's doing well. But
selfish reasons.
I know.
Selfish reasons.
Listen, my kid's only 2 hours away, and I want him to come back.
Yeah.
It's tough to let them not do their own thing, and but so he's involved. He's the entrepreneur behind it.
Yeah.
And I told you, your dad once said to me, no guts, no glory. So that's somewhere again, just like the music is in you, that line is in your DNA as well. I want to get back to again. So if you got let's say you get a bunch of lawyers. I know a bunch of lawyers and a bunch of real estate folks and stuff, and so it'd be like selling a business card size ad that would attach itself to the email so people would see it, I would imagine, or is it one shot with, almost like print, but on an electronic version of it, or is it like sponsoring them just by doing a story?
It would.
Because I think some stories from professionals, how they got into where they're at, are pretty good to listen to.
It could be either.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're thinking, smack right at the top.
Okay.
Somebody's sponsoring the newsletter. Sponsored by such and such. This newsletter brought to you by whoever it is. If they want to do a little write up, great.
Yep.
That's fantastic. We
Yeah.
actually have one in Talon County for Dad's Does over in Mansfield.
Oh, Mansfield, that little donut shop.
Yeah, so
I've been there.
They're doing a.
Takes a couple dozen to fill me up. They're small. Have you been them?
They're delicious. They're fantastic.
Yeah, they are, but they're too small.
It's not just,
on the-
so it's a donut shop for little donuts as opposed to a little donut shop.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it is. It's still a little donut shop and small donuts. Have you been there yet, Doyle?
No, I have not been there yet.
I'm telling you,
I-
you don't order just a dozen.
I'm still eating.
They're
I'm
great.
still eating my fruits
Yeah.
and nuts to stay healthy. Kids.
Oh, they're individually made right then, like the.
You can watch. They have a nice big picture
You
window.
can see
You can
it.
watch them.
He dips them in and decorates them right in front of you. Not like this, one of these other places where they're there and you don't know how many hours they're there.
Yeah.
Hey Matt, can you put the music on for the rest of the half hour? I'm going up the north.
He closes at 2.
Oh
See, I know that schedule.
boy.
They've been.
They do a good
great.
job.
Yeah, and they've been great to work with. He was an E.O. Smith guy.
Oh, is he? Is that where
Yeah.
he's a teacher?
No, he graduate of.
Oh, graduate
E.O.
E.O. Smith. Okay.
And he's just been. I've met some really wonderful people doing this. So,
Oh, yeah.
I've met some not so nice people, which I'm not going to name names because I don't. Like I said, this is
Right.
about positivity.
Yep.
But
Now, I know it's primarily an email, right? It is
Mm-hmm.
a email. But have you thought of printing a few copies and leaving them in places like, say, Bob IGA, where someone who isn't looking for you on the internet might see the newsletter and then switch to an email copy of it? Just another way of promoting your site.
So I think we're going to. I need to print off some flyers that I'd love to be able to leave around local businesses. Like I said, everybody's been really accommodating and great. So I'm hoping they'll be on board with that, and hoping people go in to Good Times
Yep.
Coffee House
Yeah,
and
because
see
it
our
becomes,
flyer.
it
and be
becomes
like,
a
"Oh,
number game.
Yeah.
The more people that are reading you, the more people will refer to you. The more people that are reading you, the more the business is going to want to advertise with you.
Yeah.
It all becomes a numbers game as to how to increase your readership, and that's through the quality writing and sites and events that we want to go to. Is it all restaurants? Is it a mix of restaurants and events, or?
So most of we do what's called our hive pick. So that'll be our business choice, or it'll either be like a specific business, or if there's a really big event going on. So if there's a benefit or something like that, we would probably put that as our focus. So we'll have 3 bigger stories. I usually confer with my wife about, what do you think if
That would be Nikki.
if you heard about this? That would be my beautiful, lovely wife, Nikki, who I love so much.
Valentine's Day is coming right around the corner, Nikki. Trust me.
Yeah. And just kind of bounce off what's going on, what the events I have lined up, and we figure out what might be the big draws or what people might be the most interested in. And then once we do that, we'll do the 3 stories, and then the rest of the events, they'll be a little lower, so you can see, and it won't be as big of a write-up. It'll just be a little blurb, so you get a basic idea of what's going on. And if there's a link to grab tickets or get information, I'll put it right there, just so it's easy. You can click. You don't have to go searching.
Now, are you obviously going to tie in seasonally, because that's going to be, we got a lot. Valentine's Day is coming up. The Chocolate Fest is coming up. The new Cupid's coming up. That's just in a couple weeks span here in this small town. So I mean, how far out do you write? How far out do you get ahead of yourself? Not before you go to print, let's say, but
We've been trying to get better about that. We did send out a survey, just improvements and everything, because we want it to be the best quality newsletter can be. And we got a little more lead time would be nice. So for bigger events, I'm trying to give, at least a week heads up. I've kind of shifted. Before it was a straight Monday through Wednesday would be covered in the Monday one. And Thursday through Sunday would be
smart. Yep.
So now I've kind of pushed it to, I'll do Monday through Thursday on the Monday one, then Thursday through Monday on the Thursday one. So that's, if something pops up the same day on Monday, it might not be the best planning wise. So we just want to give people the chance.
Are you going to encompass a little bit of what's going on at Eastern Connecticut State University and QVC?
So we do Eastern Sports.
Okay. Okay, great.
I think it's somewhere.
Okay.
Towards
How many
the end.
pages do you normally write?
I don't know. I never print them out, so I don't even know how many we do. Okay. But
just till you get tired.
Pretty much, it's
two.
They're not too long. It's about
I can't imagine.
2,000 words on the high end usually. So it's substantial, but it's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's not awful to get through.
Yeah. So I don't want you to get you off track. That's me. I do that all the time. I'm all over the place. So you do the Eastern? Hey, Doyle, at least I'm someplace. You're just sitting there like a mushroom.
Yeah, well, you're
That's
right.
my dad's doing it. I'm thinking about the one I had the last time with the pretzel and the chocolate. But anyway, so
the
Eastern,
s'mores one for me.
Oh,
the pink frosted was phenomenal.
Don't please. I've got a little problem with donuts.
Yeah.
So Eastern Sports, which I think would be great to get into, and
if they have any performances or anything, if I can find it on there, I'll put it on.
That's why I keep going back to. Granted, you got to do your work and you got to find it, but I mean, is there a connection you can make, such as like at the town hall, such as at Eastern, where hey, this is what's coming up, Tyler?
I'd love
they can shoot you. I mean, you got to go out and ask that. Yeah. That's the person at our town hall would be happy to give you what's going on. A list of things at Shabu, and I'm sure there's got to be a communications officer at Eastern.
Oh, I'm sure. Same with Eastern and Yukon. And
hey, just tell them you don't know Mark Doyle. You'll get right in the door.
I'm sure you're checking to Jorgensen. They'd be happy to send you a listing of all this coming up. Of course, they also have their own websites, but yeah, that would be another way of being active, is getting people to send you sites or information.
I think we just, in the Tolland one for today, just put in a Jorgensen event. It's coming up on Friday, I want to say. I think a concert on Friday.
So if I'm Jorgensen and I give you information about an event, you're not charging the people who are doing the events, right? You're hoping to make up the money from advertisers from people reading your newsletter.
Ideally, we'd like to, if people are throwing free events, we're not going to charge somebody for a free event. It doesn't make sense. We want to get the word out, everything. If it's a concert at Jorgensen, still I want to let people know. But it may not be. If I miss one, I miss one. I know that sounds probably worse than it should. But
well, yeah, you're not in the business of promoting other people's businesses per se. If
I want to help people out, but I also, if they're not helping us out by mentioning us or helping promote us in some way, it should be a mutually beneficial relationship.
It's true.
Which I don't want it to sound like selfish, but I don't want to do a ton of legwork and see nothing back from it. If we can get a couple subscribers from it, great, perfect. Then it's worth it. In my mind, it's 100% worth it.
Now, people who are in that business, such as promoters for all these shows, the dog shows, the Strawberry Festival somewhere else, the car shows that we present here, they know there's an expense in time and labor involved in what you're doing to help them promote. So they know there's a fee. This is, it's great to be kind and to promote for everybody and anybody, and I think this town is off the charts in helping people. So this just goes along with it. It's just that, when promotions get bigger and bigger and bigger, the gates get bigger and bigger, there should be more of a, an understanding that there's a cost and you need revenue to to keep going.
Yeah,
It's just part of life.
I just want to clarify. If it's something like, Bliss Marketplace here
Yes.
in town,
Yeah.
I'm not expecting money from them or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Any small businesses in town, I'm not. We're not looking for that. We're not trying to, put the screws to any of these small businesses. We're not trying to put the screws to anybody.
Well, you can do that to Doyle. I don't really care what you do to him. Hey, listen, we are talking again to Tyler DiGiovanno. You're listening to Windham Weekly every Wednesday.
Kinda slipped your mind
every
there for a second,
Thursday at 4 o'clock here in WILI.
And the phone number is?
And the phone number to call, because I think he's a young man. He's got more energy than Mark, that's for sure. 456-1400. Call in and say hi to Tyler. Maybe you went to school with him. Maybe you played football with him. Maybe you know his dad. Just call, and his mom. Just call and say hello as he's talking about his new venture with his brother, the Quiet Corner Buzz. It sounds like something that's super positive for the community and the county in and of itself. Basically promoting our local events one way or the other. It's an email situation. You sign up for free and you'll get an email every Monday and Thursday with what's going on.
That's right.
So just a little sample for our listeners out there. We did print I think I printed the latest newsletter. Give us an idea of what the taco place is like. Just how would you? I see you have some of yours. This is something to taco about. Very cute. That's something Ken would come up with.
Oh boy!
Yeah, it's a lot of dad jokes.
Right.
A lot of dad jokes.
Ken is a dad joke, yes. But go ahead. Just I want you to give this a sample to the sample to the listeners what's in your newsletter.
So we usually start off with the date, because that's helpful. 'Cause sometimes people forget. Not looking at anybody in particular.
What date did I forget?
You forgot when you babysat him.
Oh,
No,
wow.
don't get it started. Now you even forgot
Listen,
that.
I'm almost at a nursing home, pal. So when you're talking about a kid you knew when he was that young and he's got 3 and one's already in school, that's scary.
It's been a little while.
It's been a while.
Let's go back the other way then, Ken. So
What about my Oliver?
you mean off? I realize his name spells off.
Well, it does spell off. Yeah. Oliver Francis spelling off. I said that when day one.
I have 2 grandchildren as well, but they live in Seattle, halfway to China.
Yeah,
Mine's
almost there.
mine are 14 and 12, so they're getting older. But in
I
any
always
case,
know that.
in your newsletter, you're doing, say, I see the first thing here is like a restaurant review as well as events. So
I'll start off. It's every day is a national day of whatever. So I usually start off with that, let you know what the national day was. On Monday, it was National Bubble Wrap Day. Who knew?
Ken knew. If you were in his basement, you would know too.
From there, we do what's called brief bites, which they're more news stories than anything else. Little blurbs, what's going on. Like on Monday, we talked about Restaurant Week was starting, which
Between the two
Very
towns,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
Between
Oh
Mansfield.
yeah, we should mention that while we're here. It's coming up next week or
this week.
This week is Restaurant Week.
Yeah, Tommy DeVivo is buying lunch for everybody in Willimantic over in Mansfield. He's a great mayor, by the way, to do that.
So check out your favorite restaurants in Willimantic. We actually have a link if you go to the website and click on Monday's newsletter. You can see there's a link there. You can click it and see which restaurants are participating. From there,
How many restaurants in Willimantic are participating in that?
Oh, I don't
You
know
don't
off
know?
the top of my head.
Okay.
Couldn't tell you. I know Trigo definitely is.
Oh, Trigo's good. Oh,
They're great. They were one of the first people to work with us with offering a discount. Which,
Patrick is a very nice guy and just very community oriented.
so thank you, Patrick and Garnet. You guys are awesome. So we'll go through what's going on. Like the cold plunge is happening this
Good.
This
Help us, because
Saturday.
we need to know what's going on. So the cold plunge is going on. That benefits who?
That is for the Soup Kitchen.
Government
That's
Soup Kitchen.
run by local legend Ray Aramini.
Another Columbia boy.
Yeah,
And that
wonderful
was,
guy.
And that was actually named after, did I say Olga?
Olga Aziz. I don't know if that's the right
Yeah, she was. She and I
pronunciation.
served on the library board here in town together. She was a wonderful woman.
And
Back in the day when he was spinning the wax.
And I was actually reading things.
From there, we go into we have 3 events that we kind of pick to spotlight. So this one already passed, so sorry, a little too late. It was a candle pouring at Taylor Brook Brewery in Woodstock, which most people know as Taylor Brook Winery, but now they do beer as well. We started a history section because we asked and people said they wanted to hear more about local history or local figures. So on Monday, we talked about the Battle of the Frogs.
Do you have Ken and I in there as our local figures? Well, Battle of the
So the
Frogs.
first is about the Battle of the Frogs.
Yeah.
That's about Mark's era.
Yeah.
I came in at the Civil War.
You were just a tadpole in those days.
So that's going to be a mainstay. Once a week, we're going to do local history from around Windham County.
That's great because there's plenty of it here.
Yeah.
Plenty of it.
And I believe it was the Tolland one we did. What's the Tolland? I don't know. One of them. Sorry, it's hard to keep track these days. Was the Rochambeau Trail?
Has to be here. We're 14.
Bolton. They came through too.
Hey, Bolton, yeah. Because it's
Actually, marched right through Connecticut, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
So that, yeah.
Back in your day, that's Revolutionary Wars, Ken.
I
We
lived in one of
featured
his
the
houses
place
he
in Bolton.
slept in.
That's what it was.
Like George Washington.
That's my father and I repainted one of the houses on the green that he stayed in.
Yeah.
That was way back when
Not
I was
the pink
in high
house.
school. No, I don't know. It was white, and I'm pretty sure the paint was lead based.
Is that what happened?
So
John?
yeah, it explains a few things. That and playing football. Then we had this was another one, a library event that was happening tonight actually at the Guilford Smith Memorial Library in South Windham.
So what's happening there tonight?
They're holding a herbal workshop with their board president. I believe her name is Michelle McClure. She's a trained herbalist and will be teaching about using herbs for winter health.
And what time is that tonight in South Windham?
That's at 6 p.m.
See, now if you subscribed to the Quiet Corner Buzz, you'd know this.
You wouldn't know that
So
on
I'm going to have to
Monday.
subscribe so I know what's going on down the street.
You can still catch it on the way home.
So I would
Good,
call.
I'm hungry. Keep
Make sure to
talking about
call
donuts for a
them.
half hour.
Call them at 860-423-5159 to see if they still have space because space was limited. And after that, we get into our events. So we'll go by date and sorted by town. And we give like little descriptions of what's going on wherever if something's happening. One of which is a mainstay in Danielson, which they do a mystery matinee at the Killingly Public Library. You got to be 18 plus. It's not necessarily a 18 plus movie, but they just keep it above board. And you show up and they throw on a movie and you have no idea what it is until they press play.
Hey,
So you can find a new favorite movie or just laugh at something that's terrible. And after we call them Beeline events, we have live music. So whatever's going on in the area, usually beginning of the week, there's not too much. And then we have a section on trivia that's going on in the area.
and that live music is mostly at different pubs and places like that.
And if you know of places that have live music and it's not in the newsletter, send me an email, please. I'm always looking for new spots to put in.
Why don't you give me your email again, Tyler? Because getting that kind of information from the listeners to, let's say a Bidwell Tavern or this place or that place, plenty of the restaurants around here always have some good music going, and an opportunity to get that out to the public without putting an ad in the paper, and then maybe eventually becoming a sponsor of this newsletter. I think is what you want. So why don't you communicate one more time your information on how to contact you and.
Sure. Email Tyler, Tyler, at ConnecticutBuzz.com. Always looking for live music events. It's the musical upbringing. Always got to promote music as much as possible.
And just for Ken's sake, can you spell Connecticut for him?
CONNECTICUT.
I thought it was spelled differently,
BUZZ.
but I'll take that for now.
Yeah, it's not CT. It's the whole thing, Ken.
Well, some of us work at a different speed, okay?
That's true.
Or CT or CONN, that has to work. Now, for those people who are leisurely and retired, like the mushroom down
I
down
can
a
spell the
couple
whole
seats,
word.
you got the time to spell it 3 times and backwards.
That's right.
But you're a wizard, Mark. He
Well,
impresses me.
that's like my day today. I started my day off with
Oh,
an
God.
early morning meeting. We started at 11:30.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How long did that last? You had to go to Dunkin'
It
Donuts?
was a half hour. No, it was. We did it on Zoom, so it was a Zoom, but it was
Oh,
early morning.
so you
Ken.
still had jammies on.
Yeah, only from the
He
bottom
loved
down.
COVID just so he could sit at home with his pajamas on.
Just from the bottom down, Ken. Yeah, so
It's not bad. I mean, working from home's not bad. I got to tell
It's
you.
got to be your generation.
Always do a shirt and tie for the waist up, Ken. That's where you went wrong. We won't go there.
I will say trivia night tonight at
Keep it above
Ken,
board, Tyler. will you?
Tyler, going back to this topic at hand. Go ahead, Tyler.
trivia night at Trolley Pub at 7:30 p.m.
Now that's with
every Thursday.
Keith C. Rice. That's something new he started. And he's also got something new started up at Fenton Grill. Are you aware of that?
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, he's
That's-
got it's Blackout or something.
Interesting.
That's the Royal Rice Man for those who've been following his career from the early days.
maybe shoot him an email and say what's going on at the Fenton River Grill,
Right.
and you can support that in this newsletter. See how cross utilization of the see that word cross utilization? That's pretty good.
Sure, that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, I
That was
might
the
not-
word of the day.
I may not spell Connecticut correctly, but I use cross utilization. That's true because I remember just seeing that, saying I wonder what that is. I obviously know what a trivia night is, and all that other good stuff, live music, but I don't know exactly what his function is there or what they're doing at that restaurant. But he's involved in it. It's something new, and something about Blackout. So maybe you can
Good to
connect
know,
with
yeah.
Keith and connect, because. He has his own show, and and he promotes again local. A lot of people from his childhood, it seems like, that have come a long way, and local business folks. So, and I'm sure he knows your family as well. But that's what I mean. It's about getting the contacts to you,
Yeah.
so you can continue to expand. Because the more events you have on there, it's like Go Local Prov.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with that out in Providence, but it's a similar thing, except theirs is an actual. They have it online, but they have an actual, like an old newspaper.
Oh, very
For
cool.
guys like Doyle who have nothing to do but flip pages all day.
Well, we're more we like to save the environment, Ken. So we're.
Oh,
we're
you're
going into
modern
these-
now. You're hip.
Yeah,
Huh?
absolutely. We're into that email. But let poor Tyler continue with this story. Here,
Yes,
Ken.
go on with poor Tyler.
So after the live music and trivia, we do our hive pick, which is, like I said, our focus on one business or event, special business, special event that's going on. And Monday, it was Bronco's Puebla Cuisine, which is phenomenal. If you haven't been down there, you need to go.
So
Get
tell
the
us where that
birria
is.
tacos.
If I haven't been down there, tell us where that is.
That is in the Sunmart parking lot, right near Royal Buffet.
Okay.
So not the Sunmart near Windham Rec.
No.
It's over closer to CVS.
Are they there lunch and dinner?
They are there. He is open around 11.
Oh, so he serves breakfast.
Winter hours, it's a little different. And depending on the day, he closes around 9:30 to 10:30 in the winter. In the summertime, he can be open as late as 1 in the morning.
Holy smoke!
Yeah. And he's great. I was talking to him, and he said there was a guy from Danielson that had called at 10 o'clock, asking if they were open. He said, "Just tell me what you want. I'll make it. It'll be ready when you get here." So they ended up staying open an extra half hour for this guy to come down. So very, very nice man.
Yeah, because I'll tell you that's one thing about Rec Park. Once softball season gets going with the men's league and the women's league, the food trucks that are down there, I can stop there for a little snack before I go home. Things like that.
Yeah.
It's not bad. But
Yeah.
I've not tried that place yet.
I think there's a local one. I'm sorry if I forget the name. I think it's Jay's Food Truck.
Jay's, yeah.
Jay,
Yep, he's
2
down there.
Y's. She.
She.
I went to school with her sister, but so shout out Jamie, you're great. your family's great.
You hear that, Jamie? Or better yet, did you hear that, Nikki? I mean,
yes.
seriously, it's Valentine's week, kid. What are you doing?
As long as she wasn't on prom date, I think he's safe.
No. Just a friend, just a nice person. So we have a promo working with Puebla with the Broncos right now, so it's 10% off your order if you mentioned that you heard about them through Quiet Corner Buzz, and that's through the end of February. So for the whole month, if you go down there, you'll get 10% off. And from there, we do our little roundup of what's going on with Eastern sports, which not a whole heck of a lot. You got basketball and swimming right now. And that's pretty much it. That's the newsletter, and then you can keep scrolling and look at the old.
Would you
newsletters that we
consider adding the high school sports? I mean, especially with some of the E.O. Smith rivalry with Windham, the Killingley rivalry with Windham, and things like that. You know.
Yet our only concern is that would make it just so long. If we covered, there's 12 towns or 13 towns in Windham County.
Well, we're
So if
talking
we're
about
doing-
Windham and Mansfield, maybe Killingley. These are your.
If there's a
people
big
they look to.
rivalry, we'll definitely put it in. If there's a big rivalry
Get
game.
a hold of
yeah.
Pat Risley. What's he doing these days? He's hanging around in an office,
Yeah, him and
It's not a production
Konopka.
meeting.
Kanopka, him and Zach Kanopka. They hang around. They talk about games at all the glory days.
The old
Those
days.
guys, it's time.
That's my
Put 'em
cousin-in-law,
Who, Kanopka?
Konopka.
Yeah, tell Zach, just write up a little ditty for me and send it. What's
Yeah.
going on? We're going to have him on eventually again. We had him on before. What's going on with, you're the athletic director. What's going on with the kids here? What are we looking forward to for championships, celebrations, highlights, personal successes of kids? I know every team is not, an
You
individual
got
guy.
to remember, Ken, this is not a production meeting. We're actually here to have Kyle tell us what he does.
He is, but I'm giving him a little.
Oh yeah, there was
Little
a
advice.
What's wrong with the little advice?
Wyndham player, I think that
The
passed.
Malky. Can't say.
One of the female basketball players. I'm
What's her
sorry,
name,
I don't know her name, and I apologize. But I think she passed. I think maybe it was 2,000 points
Yes,
or something
it was
like
just
that.
it was just yes. I saw that. I also don't remember her name, but I did see that she got a.
That guy's on the board, but he doesn't know a hero's name.
So, and
This is what I'm talking about, folks. The mushrooms.
I know Robert Manguel's doing a great job
Yeah.
with the girls' team.
Yeah.
And he's went to high school with him,
Yeah.
played basketball
Listen,
with him.
the athletics at the school has always been something that we've been proud of
Yeah.
and supporters over the years. Obviously, like yourselves, our sons all were involved in one sport or another.
My sons played football. They did wrestling. Wrestling was their big sport, and baseball.
Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah.
So there's soccer and
Right.
tennis too, okay?
Yeah. So wait a minute.
There's other sports. There was girls swimming, but we know what happened there. But anyway,
Tennis is just playing with the ball, so I don't see that.
well, my son got a concussion playing tennis.
Well,
Nicholas, imagine that big
that I can
6'6" guy.
that I can see with you, Ken, as his gene.
All right. So I just want to go through a couple things because we're getting close to that time. And I know you're sitting back saying, we got to wait again till next Wednesday to hear Windham Weekly out. Thursday. Why do I keep saying Wednesday?
Because you're confused.
I
You're an
get a
old
little-
guy.
I'm getting old, see? That's why I don't remember the kid now.
So
So
next Thursday,
we're going to have another special guest on, Berta Hernandez. Now you're saying, who's she? Well, Berta is was last year's 2024 Willimantic Cupid. And for a year, she's had the title, the crown. She ate all the chocolate. She didn't share one chocolate with me.
but now she's retiring.
Now she retires the crown, right? Valentine's Day's come. A new Cupid will be put up for all to cheer on, and she'll be in the boombox parade with the chocolate.
So let's do
Festival.
his website one more time. Ken.
Sure.
Sure, it's
Tyler.
quietcornerbuzz.com. Check us out. You can subscribe, see all of our past newsletters, find out a lot of stuff that's in the area that you had no idea was there. I know I've had a great time finding out all this new stuff and finding out these amazing businesses in the area, and I hope you do too, because this part of the state has a lot to offer.
It's the Quiet Corner Buzz, everybody. Tyler DiGiovanni. Let's make this young man proud of the support he's going to get from, I'm going to consider this his hometown. He went to high school with a lot of you guys who've all moved on and grown, have your own families, right? And now he can share what he's experiencing with these restaurants, events that are happening in town, music scene. Take a minute to get onto his website. If you're looking to sponsor, if you're a professional or whoever, get a hold of Tyler directly. And that's how do you do that again?
Email Tyler@ConnecticutBuzz.com. Spell out the word Connecticut.
Spell the word Connecticut, Doyle.
All right.
Good night,
So
everybody.
that's the buzz.